It's another day, the sun is shining. Got to know what's going on around you. Wake up, it's the time to motivate your mind. Come with me, let's make this moment brighter. Wake up with the Bahamas at sunrise. Come on and wake up with the Bahamas at sunrise. Wake up with the Bahamas at sunrise. Wake up with the Bahamas at sunrise.
Good morning and welcome to Bahamas at Sunrise. We are up dead early on a marvelous Monday. I'd like to thank you all for joining us. My name is Mark Daniels.
And I'm your guest host for today, Pettiche Bethel.
Good to see you again, Pettiche.
Oh, why, thank you.
I'm loving the red.
Thanks. Today I'm the queen of Christmas. You know Mariah Carey didn't
Oh, there you go. She tried to trademark that and she lose, so you get it.
She had the wrong lawyers.
Oh, you see? Come on, Pettiche, get it together. Yes, feeling the red, feeling the holiday season. Now that Turkey Thursday is gone, everybody had a weekend to finish all your leftovers. Now it's time to gear up for the big holiday of the year. We got Christmas coming up. How do you feel about it?
Oh my God, I'm so excited.
Yeah, is it your favorite holiday of the year?
The best.
Yeah.
And you know my birthday is right after it anyway, so it's just one whole festive holiday season.
A bunch of celebrations. Well, we encourage you all to make sure you got your plans in order. For those of you who are going to buy gifts online, today is the day. It's Cyber Monday. You better click buy in your shopping cart. Start thinking about decorating your house. You know, I like this time of year because this is when people go and they paint their house and they do landscaping. All the poinsettias come out. I just love it all, right?
And the beautiful wreaths.
All of the wreaths. So lots of celebration in the air. And speaking of celebration, we have a couple of things we got to mention. So first, we're going to say happy birthday. We got a couple of Albrys celebrating their birthday today. We got Justin Albury. Happy birthday, bro.
Happy birthday.
You don't look like you aging. Keep it up. We got Fred Albury, Dad. Happy birthday as well.
Happy
Planting
birthday.
good seeds. And Byron Ferguson. Happy birthday to you too. Enjoy another lap around the sun. We love you here on the show, and your mom sends you well wishes as well. Now, we also are celebrating, but it's a little sad for us. We have to say farewell to Brenda Knowles. She's behind the scenes. She is our makeup artist. She's the one who tried to help me to not look so greasy in the morning. I've been giving her a hard time, but we love you, Brenda, over the years. You provide us with so much jokes. They don't even get to see what happens before we get on set, making all of the guests comfortable. We love you, and I can see you in the Lutra because we don't talk about it. And we got a great show coming up today. Dario Poitier. Sorry, my throat ain't working. Dario Poitier is here to talk with us about his upcoming film event. Looking forward to that. And we also have another informative urology care segment with Dr. Pinto.
Then we'll be talking to the Bahamas AIDS Foundation about World AIDS Day. And we'll hear from SandDollar on how you can make your donations to the Salvation Army this holiday season. But first, let's check in with the weather with Godfrey Burnside.
Yeah.
Thank you, Patty Jane. Good morning, Bahamas. And your first look at weather sunrise. We do have a weak front boundary over Central Florida. Should move into extreme northwest Bahamas late morning, early afternoon. That's Grand Bahama, Abaco, Bimini. Should stall on tomorrow. That will bring with a couple of showers, maybe like a thunderstorm, particularly over the northwest Bahamas, or the central southeastern as a high pressure still persists with light winds. And so you're looking at partly sunny skies and very warm temperatures. Today, a mix of sun and clouds with a few showers, maybe like thunderstorms, mainly across the extreme northwest Bahamas. High to 86 degrees Fahrenheit. Tonight, partly cloudy skies, Still a few lingering showers around the northwest Bahamas, particularly Grand Bahama, Abaco, Bimini. The low going down to 72 degrees Fahrenheit. And some regional highs and lows across the Caribbean, Barbados 85 and 76. In Jamaica, 87 and 78. In Trinidad, 88 and 72. And the Turks and Caicos Islands, 86 and 73. Across North America, Atlanta, 65 and 45. In Raleigh, 65 and 41. In Miami, 82 and 70. Dallas, Texas, 69 and 57. And Toronto, Canada, 39 and 31. As we go the week, that weak frontal boundary will stay stationary across the northwest Bahamas in the vicinity of Grand Bahama and Abaco. Second front passes through some late in the week and that'll push it through. And then we'll have some cooler temperatures for next weekend. For the week, we're going to look at mix of sun and clouds, few showers, mainly during the afternoon hours. The temperature daytime will be in the mid to upper 80s at daytime, at nighttime in the lower 70s. That's what you're wrapping your first look at the weather at sunrise. I'm Godfrey Burnside. Back to you, Patricia.
Thanks, Godfrey. Filmmaker Dario Poitier has packed 5 original films into one exciting experience coming up this Friday and Saturday, December 2nd and 3rd. He's here to tell us about all of it with some of the film's actors, Osbourne Lockhart, Frantz Ferguson, and Armand Williams. Good morning, gentlemen. Welcome to Bahamas at Sunrise.
Morning.
So, tell us, Dario, how did you come up with this concept?
Well, the original idea of this concept was to get other filmmakers on board, whereas we all kind of like pitch in and bring whatever it is that we do to the table in our own unique way. But that didn't go as positive as when I dished it out there to them, and so I just had this burning desire to just get this project out there, and so I just had to find a way to do it myself. So I went ahead and I actually wrote these films during the pandemic, during the lockdown. It was nothing to do, so I grabbed my phone and just started typing. So it took me maybe about, I'd say about 3 days to just write them all. And I already had my cast, so they were like nagging me, saying, okay, what's next? Because, we previously did a play just prior to that.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think the pandemic must have brought out the creative in a lot of us.
Yes.
But can you tell us a bit about what the films are about?
Well, I think the names are self-explanatory. Some of the names are battered. Help me out, I went blank. Delayed, battered, fragments, dark clouds, and shall we. And maybe another one. Yeah. So one of them in particular, I'll say one that he's starring in, Osbourne. That one is, what's that one? Yeah, Delayed. This one tells the story of four friends that take a day-away trip to one of the private keys surrounding Nassau. It's just a fun day trip. They meet up with this boat captain. He's very obnoxious, played by this guy here. He has 2 rules: pay him his money and be on time. And so his character is always late. So there's some confrontation that happens on the island. But it's a fun day-away trip. Another one, which is Fragments, that is with Osbourne stars in. That one is a story of a couple who's going through some stuff in their marriages. And the husband is not being upfront with the wife, letting her know exactly what's going on. She's constantly nagging him, and he just refuses to tell her what is going on.
Right.
Yeah. So they're facing some stuff. I don't want to give away too much of the details because it's already short, so.
Well, I'm already excited to see what's going
Yeah.
on with that. But for the actors, let me know. You have some competing rules here. Some people like each other, some don't. So what's it like actually starring as an actor in these short films?
It's amazing. We, as actors, we get along very well. We're all friends prior to this, so, we just bring out the best in each other. So it isn't more of a competition, it's more of this us, this we. And together as one, we have to make this great, whatever we do, So sometimes, I may do something wrong, or could do it better. Frantz will say, but you should do it like this. And the same thing for me and Frantz, and with Armand, we just help to build each other to be better actors in whatever we're doing.
Well, I mean, I wish the audience had seen you all on set before we started because you certainly have a rapport. But what is it like shooting films in the Bahamas? What is the process like of getting this to the end?
For us, first of all, it's exciting. It's something we live for. Because I'm sure all of us have dreams being actors and stuff like being in Hollywood or Atlanta or wherever the case may be. But the process is easy because we, like as you said, we work together. So it's no conflict or it's no drama. So whatever Dario asks, we give. And like you said before, if it's something that we don't agree with each other, we would help each other out by saying, hey, you should do it like this or this. And then we would get Dario's approval. His favorite word is this, excellent. When we get that, we know we on point. It take a while to get that sometimes, but we get it. I'm gonna jump over a cliff trying to get excellent from Dario.
And then everyone works, so it's kind of hard to like manage everyone's time schedule, and to agree on a time to say, okay, we're gonna shoot between this time. So yeah.
It's interesting. So that seems like a challenge. What's the most fun part about shooting?
Together. There's a lot of jokes too. We keep it. Sometimes you may be on the set just for a little while long, and we'll be like, well, we had just a little too long. But once we get together, we say things, we crack jokes and this and that, and then everything just smooths over. So the time would just fly by because we're all like I said before, it's one goal we're all trying to reach, and we're working together. This is the Bahamas, and we're all Bahamians here. We're trying to make it, and Bahamas is already on the map.
Right.
So one of the main things we want to keep it there.
Absolutely.
By all aspects. You know what I mean? This is just what we do.
So I think that's a really important point to pick up on, the fact that the cast is fully Bahamian. Dario, was that important to you in terms of kind of hosting and casting your actors and actresses?
Yes, in a nutshell, it is. I think that we have a lot of talent here in the Bahamas. We're just waiting for that exposure, and I think the government should really buy into us because it's really hard to get sponsors. And by saying sponsors, I want to publicly say thank you to Tropical Gyro, who is our only sponsor for this event. So yeah.
Excellent, thank you. And I heard there's a Q&A after the premiere of the film. Do you want to talk us through that, what that process looks like, what the guests can expect?
Well, yes. The door opens at 6. The screening starts promptly at 7 p.m. That's Eastern Standard Time, not Bahamian time. So they'll get to walk our red carpet. The dress code is smart casual, so you don't have to, get all dressed up. After the screening takes place for an hour and 20 minutes. So you basically feel like you're watching a full-length movie. And then after that, the cast will ascend to the stage to do a quick Q&A. So any questions that the audience have in terms of the whole process, the way forward, we'll be entertaining those questions.
Okay, awesome. So I know you said you didn't want to give any teasers, but let's just go back. We heard about 2 types of the films. The other 3, what are they?
Maybe you can talk a little bit about the one that you're in, Dark Clouds.
Well, Dark Clouds is mainly about, I guess, with the COVID timing, people sort of this depressed stage, and it mainly focuses on things that people go through at times that no one else knows about. You know what I mean? Like when you're hurting, when you're being depressed. So I don't give it too much, like you said, but let's just say I had a friend that came to me and talked to me and brought me back to reality.
I wonder who's that friend. I wonder.
So it goes pretty deep. You know what I mean? Because COVID timing was really,
and it still is rough for a lot of people.
Yeah, people are still trying to bounce back and get back in motion. And just through the time, you just want to give them something to think about, as to know that, you know what I mean? It's still help out there.
Not to give up.
Yeah, not to give up.
Right. So, Dario, from what I'm hearing, when I hear you and the actors talk about the different types of short films that we're going to be seeing, they all seem like they focus on things that people don't typically talk about, or kind of like you said, the dark times in people's lives.
Yeah.
Why was that something that you thought you should highlight?
Well, that was my exact intentions. I wanted to touch base on a lot of stuff that we as a community kind of sweep underneath the mat. Especially the story that I spoke about with Osbourne. I think a lot of persons are going to be touched by it. And then there's another film called Barnett that Frantz is starring in. That one, as you can hear, that one is self-explanatory. It's about this young lady who's madly in love with this narcissist guy, and she's going through a lot. He basically put her through a lot, and you probably would have seen some of that in the trailer, some of the trauma that he puts her through. So, and I think that's something that is quite prevalent in the Bahamas now. A lot of women experience, being battered by either their spouse or boyfriend or family member, So I just wanted to touch base on something that people can, not just in the Bahamas, relate to, but in the region or around the world.
Right. I think it's so important that you are actually highlighting so many social issues that, we may hear about when you talk intimately to a friend, but most of the time they're not actually publicized, particularly in this jurisdiction.
Yeah.
So that's quite good.
Yeah.
So can you tell us a bit about the rest of the cast, maybe the people that are not here? Who do we have to look forward to? I'm sure there are lots of beautiful
Definitely, I
women.
think Malika Pinto, I think she's a fan favorite. She's one of those, oh my gosh, she's incredible. She's away in film school in Los Angeles, but she'll be flying in for the premiere. We shot this in the summer month. I think it took us about maybe 1.5 or 2 weeks to shoot everything, and then we retouched some of the scenes leading up to the premiere. We have Chantel Leary and who else? I think those are and then Cravo and Cedar.
Right.
Yeah. So they all are. Everyone is just excellent in their own rights. The fans, the audience, they're gonna really. We're gonna take them on an emotional roller coaster ride. Like 1 minute they're gonna be crying, the next minute they're gonna be dancing, they're gonna be laughing, then crying again. Like and the quality of it is, it's out there. So.
Awesome. Like you all highlighted when we first started, there are many Bahamians who would love to get into acting and hosting and producing, but may not know how. So do you have any tips for any of the young Bahamians looking up to you?
The main thing I think that holds a lot of people back is funding. So if we can get the government to really, like I said previously, buy into us, I think a lot of persons would put their best foot forward, and even the private sector. And if that doesn't work for you, don't just stop there, don't give up. Find a way and buy your own equipment. This is the first time that I'm acting in the role as cinematographer and editor. Never done it before, but I didn't get a positive feedback from other persons, and so I just had to find a way to get it done, and I got it done. So just keep going. I feel like when God gives you a vision, He always makes the provision, and He already downloaded everything that you need in you to fulfill whatever it is that He put inside you.
Those are really powerful words.
Yeah.
So, gents, give us the details. Let the guests know and let our Bahamas know, when and where's the event, how can they find you, how do we get tickets? Let us know.
Well, the event is scheduled for this coming Friday, December 2nd and Saturday, December 3rd at the Atlantis Theater on Paradise Island. Tickets are $40 in advance and $45 at the door. Tickets can be purchased at Monca Fashion on Carmichael Road, that's opposite Scotiabank, and All Season Bookstore, that's in the Palmdale Plaza.
Also, I have tickets.
And also,
I have tickets.
Yeah.
I will bring them to you. Delivery fee waived.
Awesome.
well, this is my number 423246. I have tickets.
And all of tickets.
Awesome. So thank you so much for joining us at Bahamas at Sunrise. This sounds so fascinating. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
With so much going on in the world today, only accepting cash at your business can be risky. Let Fidelity offer you and your customers safety, convenience, and the flexibility of a fixed or mobile terminal. Take it with you, on the move and on the go, because business should never stop. For more details, speak to one of our business development officers at 356-7764 in Nassau or 352-6676 in Freeport. Visit our website at fidelitygroup.com or visit us at any of our branches.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
Attention customers, next Tuesday, a major hurricane will cause complete confusion and chaos throughout the entire Bahamas. Water, phone, and internet services will be in short supply. Definite data loss is expected to all local and Family Island businesses.
Disasters don't plan ahead, but you can. Be ready with push-to-talk service that keeps you connected with your workforce with a simple push of a button. Contact the experts today at 601-8911 in Nassau or 602-8811 in the Family Island.
Hi, I'm Ria Christina, and I'm super excited to be the new host of You and Your Money, a local international bank that has actually been closing some of their branches. It actually gives me an opportunity to share my views, my take on the financial matters. Even when we think about what's happening globally, we still have a lot of work to do in terms of having to educate business owners as to the importance, the economic impact, and how it is that we can look at improving the Bahamian economy. $1 billion. That's how much we spend every year importing food in this country. It also gives me an opportunity to have conversations, and that's meaningful conversations with thought leaders within our community, even having to see how it is that we can work together or even the opportunities that may exist for many Bahamians. So I'm excited to be here and looking forward to the great conversations that's to come.
The islands of the Bahamas. Fly away.
Welcome back. Erectile dysfunction is a very common disorder experienced by most men at some point in their lifetime. Here to shed some light on ED with us is Dr. Greggory Pinto, urologist with Urology Care Bahamas. Good morning and welcome back to Bahamas at Sunrise.
It's a pleasure to be here. It's a sensitive topic. A lot of people don't like to speak about it. It's a bit early in the morning, but
no, we dead early and we jumping right into it.
Yeah, but we got to speak about it. There are too many men who are suffering needlessly, and their partners are also suffering along with them. If we can treat the root cause, and that's the most important thing, we need to determine what is the cause. It may be more than one cause. If we can treat the root cause, then we can get a happy solution. But just treating the symptom is not enough. We need to make sure we're figuring out why it happens, and let's stop it from happening.
So for those that don't know, tell us, what is the medical definition of erectile dysfunction?
So it's, as most people will think, it's the ability to achieve or sustain an erection that to the satisfaction of the person, the male, or the partner, or both. Actually, the most common form of erectile dysfunction is actually premature ejaculation, where a man is achieving orgasm before he's happy or satisfied, or his partner is the same. So at least 1 in 3 men have premature ejaculation, which can be devastating. I mean, you finish in a minute, and then particularly for middle-aged men, they may take a couple hours to recover again. It happens again. That can also be treated very successfully.
Some people say we're working very efficiently, right? All we need is 1 minute, but obviously a very serious condition. Who does this condition affect?
It affects men of all ages. It's every man at some point is going to be affected by erectile dysfunction. So we have to look at what are the more common causes of erectile dysfunction. Many of the non-communicable diseases such as hypertension, diabetes, hypercholesterolemia, early heart disease such as the formation of atherosclerotic fatty deposits will obstruct the smaller blood vessels such as those supplying the male member before they obstruct the larger blood vessels such as the coronary arteries that supply the heart or the vertebral arteries that supply the brain. So it may prevent you if we can determine that that is the reason that you're having erectile dysfunction. It can prevent you if we can treat you successfully from getting a stroke 20 years down the road or getting a heart attack 15 years down the road. And I've seen it time and time again. So never ignore the fact you have erectile dysfunction. Something more sinister might be going on. And if we can treat that, it can prevent more serious things that are happening years down the road.
So amongst men, we would probably say, oh, it's just in your mind. You know, you just have to go pop into the gas station and, go look behind the counter, and there's all types of things being marketed that's supposed to help. But you mentioned one or two of the causes. Go into it. Is it a mental thing, or you mentioned about high blood pressure, high cholesterol? What are some of the other causes?
Well, you mentioned going to the gas station. Obviously, you don't want to take anything that's unregulated. If you can get something from a gas station attendant, it's not something that it's safe necessarily to take. So we need to treat the root cause first of all. But let's just say that you have an issue because of high blood pressure. That's going to affect your psyche as well, emotionally. Next time you're going to put pressure on yourself to perform. That in itself can be self-defeating. So yes, there's always the emotional issue. There's always performance anxiety. If it happens once, and it can happen even from stress from work and something during the pandemic, everybody's under stress. So it can affect you every time after that, because you don't want to disappoint your partner. Your partner's all of a sudden feeling that she's unattractive. There's thoughts, if it's not even verbalized, that there might be a sweetheart. So it's a very complex issue. Another thing that's very common that a lot of people don't want to speak about is pornography-induced erectile dysfunction, which is very common, particularly for young persons. So pornography could actually rewire your brain. So it's difficult to achieve an erection with the partner if your brain center is now centered on getting arousal from pornography. So that's also something that's very important. Even gum disease. If you can get the pathogens that come from your gums that get into your bloodstream, it can cause an inflammatory response that can cause obstruction of your blood vessels supplying your male member.
Wow. So now I can tell my children, my sons, brush your teeth, because you want everything to be working, right?
Exactly.
So tell us, when is the best time to seek treatment for this condition?
Immediately. So if it's a one-time thing, obviously you don't want to overreact. But if it happens again and again, you need to seek treatment. There's no point suffering needlessly, living like a shell of your former self, living depressed, withdrawing from your partner, causing marital discord or relationship issues, when we can get to the root of the matter. It may stop you from having serious consequences like kidney failure. You may have hypertension, you don't know it. One of the first signs of uncontrolled blood pressure is going to be erectile dysfunction. Diabetes may present, so at least 1/3 of persons with diabetes, even if it's well controlled, is going to have some element of erectile dysfunction. So it's extremely common, particularly when we have a high rate of diabetes, hypertension, obesity. If you're smoking, having erectile dysfunction, well, you shouldn't be smoking anyway. But if you're smoking nicotine cigarettes or even cigars, there are too many men in the society who like to have a social puff of the cigar. It can be hazardous to your health, causing you at risk for getting erectile dysfunction, heart disease, many cancers. So stop smoking. There's no reason to smoke.
Sounds like we need a public awareness campaign, because there's some things popping up and that you're mentioning, some root causes that I've never heard before and haven't considered. So thanks again for bringing that up. What type of treatments are available? You talked about getting to the root cause. So how would you approach treating somebody with ED?
Well, first of all, we want to determine why you have it. It may be more than one cause. If it's simple as you having issue with your uncontrolled blood pressure or diabetes or cholesterolemia, or you have signs of early heart disease, obviously we're going to treat the meat of the matter. We're going to go straight to the cause and treat the cause. But obviously, we're going to get your confidence back right away. We're going to give you something to boost that. If it's a pill, if it's something simple. There's a lot of very promising things that are coming in the market in the last 10 years, including sound wave therapy, where we can provide painless sound waves, or they call it shock waves, but sound sounds better.
Yeah, exactly.
To deliver through an ultrasound probe through the male member. It actually disperses and breaks up plaques within blood vessels and creates what we call neovascularization, new blood vessel formation. So that in itself, if you have mild or moderate erectile dysfunction because of an arterial supply issue or a vascular issue, that can get you back on track. If you have spinal injuries or a disorder, you have a slip disc in your mid-back or your lower back, that can affect the nerve supply, and that can affect the neurological control of not just erections, but ejaculation and orgasm. So it's a very complex issue. Just going to even borrowing your friends or your cousin's blue pill may get you back on track, but if we don't treat the cause, within 2 years, within 6 months, you're going to find even the blue pill or the Cialis or the Viagra are going to stop working. We want to treat you immediately, so whatever damage is done is not long-standing or irreversible, and whatever is happening that can affect other organs of your body, whether it's your heart, whether it's your eyes, your blood vessels, we need to treat that to prevent more serious consequences down the road as well.
You know, what I'm getting from our conversations, one of the important things is that, you know, ED is less of a death sentence on its own. And it's kind of like your check engine light coming on in your car.
Yeah, very much so. It's an early warning sign that something might be going on.
Right.
It doesn't necessarily need to be very serious,
right.
But if we let it go on for years, it can become serious,
yes.
irreversible. You can lose your eyesight. It can affect your erections permanently,
right.
And it can prevent you from getting a heart attack or a stroke or something more serious
Yes.
down the road if we don't treat the root cause.
So tell us, how can we get more information about ED and reach out to urology?
Well, I have a website, urologycarebahamas.com, but I'm a consultant through the public health system at Princess Margaret Hospital. You can always get a referral from your local clinic and see me or one of my urology colleagues.
Perfect.
Thank
Dr. Greggory Pinto, we always love having you on the show.
I appreciate for you always having me
yes,
as well.
It's informative, and we continue this discussion of men taking their health into their hands, getting past the stigma and the perceived social awkwardness of some of these situations surrounding ED. Your check engine light is on. Yeah. Check the engine.
Correct.
Thanks
Correct.
again for coming on Bahamas at Sunrise.
My pleasure. My pleasure.
You're watching Bahamas at Sunrise. We'll be right back.
The Euro device is very affordable. It allows you to increase your internet connectivity. You are able to do away with the buffering, say goodbye to the dead spots. It gives them a much more stable connection. Their customers are able to view their digital menus. The establishment is able to stream. It allows for everyone, the customers and the business operators, to have a much more robust and stable internet connectivity.
One thing, two things, blue thing, old things, things that are small, things that are grand, things that fit just right, and in the palm of your hand. Fox Hill Nursery, a large selection of garden supplies. If you can see it in your mind, you can find it at Fox Hill Nursery.
The islands of the Bahamas. Fly away.
And welcome back to Bahamas at Sunrise. We are here at the Mid Show, dead early on a marvelous Monday. So thankful you can join us. My name is Mark Daniels.
And I'm Pettiche Bethel, your guest host.
Pettiche, we had an exciting first half of the show.
We absolutely did.
I see you had some creatives on set. You had some actors and a director. Tell me what that was all about.
I was on set with superstars.
Yeah, right.
Okay? They took the pandemic and they ran with it.
Right.
They have 5 short films that they are kind of combining together, and they're featuring social issues that people don't typically talk about. But at the same time, they're going to like private islands in Exuma. I can't wait to see it December 2nd and December 3rd.
It definitely sounds exciting. I know a number of the talented artists involved with that. The director, shout out to him. And to all of you who during COVID, you took that time, that downtime, if you had the ability to work your creative magic and come up with something, whether it was a business, a new skill set, you came up with a degree. And there's so many things people did during COVID, and that's just another manifestation of it. So we're glad to see it. I think I'm going to make it out there to Atlanta to go watch it.
Me too.
I think it's going to be great.
There's a full red carpet. Can't wait.
Oh, job. I go buy my red. And then we had Dr. Pinto on, and he was on. We always love having on with our urology segment, talking about ED in men. And it just boils down once again, you have to take your health into your own hands. There are different warning signs that your body gives you when something isn't right. ED is just one of them. And so we got to treat the meat of the matter and go and check Urology Care Bahamas. Dr. Pinto will get you sorted out.
I would definitely recommend that.
Yes.
That's all I have to say
and
on
brush
that.
your teeth. If you don't brush your teeth, it ain't gonna work. Yo, give me a toothbrush. mouthwash, hydrogen peroxide, all that. Right? And for those of you still watching the World Cup, there's an exciting game going on. I think it's wrapping up. Someone need to tell me the score. Cameroon versus Serbia. It was 3-3 before I went into the last interview. Very exciting match. Someone text me and tell me what's happening, man. I can't find out. But we got more exciting stuff coming in our second half. We're going to find out how you can give to the Salvation Army using the SandDollar.
And we'll hear from the AIDS Foundation about what they're doing for World AIDS Day. But now, let's take a second look at the weather with Godfrey Burnside.
Weather at Sunrise, brought to you by Bahamas First. What's first for you comes first for us.
Thank you, Peter Jane. Good morning, Bahamas. And yes, second look at weather sunrise. Before I go there, we are talking about Brenda this morning. And Brenda's leaving us, so it's going to bring some tears to my eyes. All the smiles in the morning, all the cheerful moments. She knows everybody. She's like a tropical storm. Just get it, go and take it away, all right? Bye, Brenda. But we'll be catching up at the plaza. In your second look at weather sunrise, the tropics first as we wind down the 2022 tropical cyclone season. 2 more days left in the season. The tropics remain quiet and tropical cyclone formation are expected during the next 5 days. On the local scene, we have a weak frontal boundary across central Florida and move into Grand Bahama Abaco sometime by late morning and early afternoon hours. That'll bring with a couple of showers, maybe a thunderstorm possible to remain there looking beautiful over the weekend. And then we have our marine forecast. In the marine forecast today, those winds light and variable. Seas 1 to 3 feet over northwest and central Bahamas. East to southeast at 10 to 15 knots, sea 2 to 4 feet over the southeastern islands. On Tuesday, all the islands northeast to east at 15 knots, sea 2 to 5 feet. And then Wednesday, those winds come easterly at 15 knots, sea 3 to 5 over northwest and central Bahamas. 15 to 20 knots, sea 4 to 6 feet over the southeastern islands. Your tides. You can expect a high tide at 11:05 this morning. Your next low tide will be at 5:41 this evening. High gain tonight at 11:36. Sunset will be at 5:19 this evening. Rising was 6:36. UV index 8. Your water temperature 70 degrees Fahrenheit. And your moon phase now moving towards the first quarter. Your extended look. That weak frontal boundary will stall over the northwest Bahamas and the Grand Bahama and Abaco late today into tomorrow. And they'll bring about some showers. Not rained out, 1 or 2 showers, but for the most part, all the islands look lovely, partly sunny skies. Temperature daytime will be in the mid-80s, at nighttime in the lower 70s. That puts a wrap on your final look at weather sunrise. I'm Godfrey Burnside. Back to you, Patty J.
Thanks, Godfrey. If you're a digital asset kind of person, there's some good news for you. When you hear the Salvation Army bell ringers this year, you'll be able to pay with SandDollar instead of cash. Chandra Newton with the story.
The Salvation Army Bahamas is now accepting SandDollar donations. The charity celebrated the launch of its SandDollar digital wallet by Omni Financial just in time for its annual Red Kettle fundraiser.
I'm rejoicing and happy to have to launch this SandDollar today in partnership with the Central Bank and Omni Financial. And we are encouraging all the people around, when you pass the kettle, to really please use your digital wallet and donate.
Divisional Commander Major Rudolph Mio first announced the addition of SandDollar donations at the kickoff ceremony for this year's Red Kettle fundraiser. He explained that the public can use any authorized digital wallet provider to donate SandDollars to the Salvation Army.
The digital version of the Bahamian dollar, SandDollar, is compatible with all authorized digital wallet in the Bahamas. This include Cash and Go, Island Pay, Canoe, Mobile Assist, MoneyMax, Omni, and SunCash, any of which can be downloaded from the Google Play and Apple App Store.
Jermaine Campbell, Currency Department Manager at the Central Bank of the Bahamas, which issues SandDollar, explained that SandDollar can be added to a digital wallet by connecting the wallet to a bank account, debit or credit card, or by loading cash at designated locations, most of which are managed by digital wallet providers. Campbell encouraged Bahamians to support the Salvation Army in its fundraising efforts.
Today, while we launch the first payment with digital currency here at the Salvation Army, it's not so much so about the digital currency, but more so about the Salvation Army and donating and giving. So I want to encourage all of the Bahamians out there who still have those SandDollars in their wallet to pass the kettle, scan your code and donate to this worthy cause.
In his announcement, Major Mio shared that digital wallet users can donate SandDollars at over 30 locations during this year's Red Kettle campaign.
Each Salvation Army donation station will have a QR code that will allow anyone with a digital wallet to scan and donate in SandDollars to the Salvation Army within seconds.
Omni Financial Business Manager Deirdre Andrews expressed delight in being selected as the Salvation Army's digital wallet provider.
As a wallet provider for SandDollar, this was a momentous occasion for us because it also signifies the oncoming of the Christmas holiday, and for this worthy cause, every year they use this as a major fundraiser, and we're very grateful to be a part in being the chosen financial institution that can provide the SandDollar wallet for the Salvation Army at this time.
While cash donations are always welcomed, Major Mio believes digital wallets will make donating easier this year.
In the past years, you would have seen that majority of people who would have donated to the Salvation Army is people who donated cash. And you know, cards came in, we had some challenges because the machine to swipe, and sometimes people are not being willing to trust the card and so forth. But when the people are now passing the red kettle, they may not have cash on them, but they can use their digital wallet and to donate to the Salvation Army. It makes it a much easier and safer way to donate to the Salvation Army.
Jermaine Campbell shared similar sentiments about the benefits of using a digital wallet and SandDollar.
The risk of pilferage or other things or robbery, is mitigated from that aspect. And so, from an operational standpoint, a cost efficiency, it requires less physical management. It's wireless, it's digital, it's safe, it's secure. The funds go into a wallet and it's an overall more efficient process versus the cash alternative.
To kick off SandDollar donations for this year's Red Kettle fundraiser, the central bank made a donation of its own. Campbell donated $2,500 on behalf of the bank to help the Salvation Army meet this year's fundraising goal.
This year we have a goal of $250,000. This will allow us to contribute to share the love as to at least 1,000 families across the islands. Put a smile on many kids' faces by providing new Christmas toys, as well as providing personal care items, food basket to many families this Christmas. With your support, we can attain these goals.
Donations to the Salvation Army can also be made remotely using the Salvation Army's alias or custom name. In keeping with its philanthropic support, the Central Bank of the Bahamas will match SandDollar contributions during this year's campaign, which is themed Love Beyond Christmas.
Nassau Agencies Limited is pleased to announce that we are in compliance with the new Price Control Drugs Amendment Regulations 2022. We continue to cooperate with the government as they seek to bring economic relief to our citizens and residents. Nassau Agencies Limited, distributors of Nature's Bounty vitamins and minerals, nutritionals Ensure, Glucerna, beef disinfectant spray, bark insect sprays, prescription drugs, and health and beauty aids. Nassau Agencies Limited, your quality assured pharmaceutical wholesaler.
Attention customers, next Tuesday, a major hurricane will cause complete confusion and chaos throughout the entire Bahamas. Water, phone, and internet services will be in short supply. Definite data loss is expected to all local and Family Island businesses.
Disasters don't plan ahead, but you can. Be ready with push-to-talk service that keeps you connected with your workforce with a simple push of a button. Contact the experts today at 601-8911 in Nassau or 602-8811 in the Family Island.
Welcome back. In commemoration of World AIDS Day, this Thursday, December 1st, the Bahamas AIDS Foundation will host several HIV/AIDS awareness activities. Here to tell us about this are Lady Camille Barnett, President of the Bahamas AIDS Foundation, and we also have Lynette Deveaux, psychologist with the National HIV and AIDS Center with the Ministry of Health and Wellness. Good morning and welcome to Bahamas at Sunrise.
Good morning. Thank you.
Thank you all for being here dead early. I don't know if you all are usually
It's
up.
very early.
Yeah. Excuse me. Well, thank you for being here. We appreciate having you on the show. So first, Lady Barnett, tell us, let's get some background. What is the status of HIV and AIDS in the country right now?
We are doing very well. I have to compliment the Ministry of Health for their hard work. All of the important numbers are down. The rate of HIV/AIDS related deaths is down. The rate of new cases is down. They're doing an amazing job. So we're very pleased. And I know that Mrs. Deveaux could probably speak to more to that as well too. But the ministry has done an excellent job.
Well,
we're headed in the right direction.
That's good. Once we're going in the right direction, that's awesome news.
Yes.
What is the work of the AIDS Foundation?
Well, in 1992, I smile because our work depends a lot on the actual disease itself and the various forms that it takes over the years. But when we started, our main function was education, to support the fight against HIV and AIDS. Then we found ourselves buying medication for women who were positive and pregnant to save the babies. And then we found ourselves working with children and adolescents who were struggling, with the whole concept of being HIV positive and it being a big secret, and trying to keep that to themselves. And so we followed. It's a very dynamic disease, so we follow it wherever it leads, and whatever it needs to be done, we are there doing it.
So, Mr. Deveaux, tell us about the work of the National HIV/AIDS Center and the work you do with persons affected by this disease.
Okay, the work of the HIV/AIDS Center has to do with ensuring that prevention, education is available to all persons, particularly who we call our marginalized or key population, to ensure that persons have access to testing, to ensure that persons who do test positive have access to free medication. And we like to always stress this free medication to our patients. Even if you're in the private sector, persons who go to private physicians, they can still get their medication free of charge.
That's great.
Counseling services always all provided free of charge. And of course, we promote effective condom use, and so male condoms, female condoms are all available free of charge at the HIV and AIDS Center.
So what kind of work do you do as a psychologist?
Well, I've been very fortunate. I've been a part of the research arm of the program. And in the research, what we were doing was assessing the overall effectiveness of programs that contribute to students. We will focus on the key population that I work with, and that's the youth, and ensure that they don't put themselves at risk for HIV and AIDS. And so we want to assess what program would be effective in doing that. And so I've been fortunate to work with the Ministry of Education, with some wonderful people throughout the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, training teachers, training parents, and ensuring that kids from pre-adolescence to older adolescents get correct information how to protect themselves and make good decisions.
Just curious, what type of strategies have you felt have worked over the years and have been most effective in the public awareness and getting people bought into this idea of protecting yourself and, being more aware of this disease?
I think ensuring that we continue a conversation. A lot of people are uncomfortable with this topic of HIV primarily because it is transmitted through unprotected sex with an infected partner, and it's that sex word that gets people to nick us in a twist.
Yeah.
And so it's very, very important to get to understand what the discomfort is, to address the discomfort. When we do the training with the teachers, we identify what makes you uncomfortable. And let's start from there. For the parents, what makes you uncomfortable? And we kind of validate the discomfort, that it's okay to feel uncomfortable. Yes. Most people feel uncomfortable, and that's okay. And so the whole business of ensuring that communication, the talking, and listening. Listening is also very important.
Yes, it is.
And ensuring that persons get correct information. We find that a lot of our people put themselves at risk because they have incorrect information. So one of our goals is to ensure that people get correct information. And it must be continuous. People are making the decision to have sex every single day. And so a lot of persons will say, well, you're all still talking about this and you're still talking about that. Yes, we do. I told them, as long as persons are making the decision to have sex, we have to be out there making sure that they have correct information how to protect themselves.
Wonderful words and great insight into, effective means of reaching persons and how to interact and adapt with the times. Like you said, people are having sex every day. I don't think it's going to stop anytime soon. So the work of the HIV and AIDS Center is definitely important. Tell us about some of the events that are going to be happening on National HIV and AIDS Day.
Okay, our events actually started, our commemoration of World AIDS Day actually started on the 17th of November when we did free HIV testing at the University of the Bahamas. And we do it more for awareness than anything else. We have, last night was the culmination of the essay competition that was run by the Ministry of Health and the AIDS Resource Committee. And all those entrants were excellent. There were some excellent entries. And what I particularly liked about it was that they were all videotaped. So students from the Family Islands could participate.
That's great.
And St. Augustine's won the floating trophy.
Yeah?
Because, yes, the school with the most entrants and most winners, yes. So that was excellent.
Don't tell the SOC people that.
Well.
Don't tell the SOC people that. We're already wearing red. Well, that's great. So are there any other activities?
Yes, absolutely. So on the 30th of December, which is the eve of World AIDS Day, we have a candlelight vigil. And it's going to be at the Ministry of Health, 6 o'clock in the evening. And the service is only 1 hour, and it's really a commemoration of those persons who are living with HIV/AIDS and those who have unfortunately already died from HIV and AIDS. So we're inviting people to come and just spend, that short period of time with us. On the 2nd of December, the AIDS Foundation is holding its usual World AIDS Day walkathon, but this is with a difference. We're calling it a sunset move. It's in the evening, it's 6:30 in the evening, and we have routes for walkers, runners, and cyclists. But if you're not into walking, running, or cycling, there's also going to be a little happy hour taking place at the same time. So come and hang. We have Wicked Wings, we have Conch and Corn, we have Salad Masters, we have the Batter Girls, and it's at 700 Wines and Spirits on JFK across from the Ministry of Works. And 700 Wines and Spirits will be doing beer tasting as well too. So, not everybody's into walking. And maybe you might not want to walk, but maybe you want to do a little bit of physical exercise. So we've got 3 fitness instructors who will be doing some little short sessions. If you feel a little guilty about not walking, you could do a little something and then go and have your beer and your Wicked Wings. So we're excited about that. And I know that the AIDS Resource Committee is also planning some events that Mrs. Deveaux can share with you.
Yeah, tell us what else is happening. Sounds like an action-packed week.
It is.
That's facilitating communication, awareness. So what else is happening?
Well, the focus is on testing. That's the first step in terms of what we call sexual health, knowing your status, knowing the status of the person with whom you're having sex. And so there are a lot of testing activities that have already gone, a number of them, but we still have some planned, not only in New Providence, but we have testing in Grand Bahama, in Exuma, at Regatta Park. We have testing in San Salvador and testing in Eleuthera. And with the exception of Regatta Park, all of these testing sessions will be at the community clinic. and they will be on December 1st. Of course, one of the signature events for World AIDS Day is the church service. And this year's church service will be at Epiphany Anglican Church on Prince Charles. Want to get that right?
Yes.
And that's at 1 p.m. So we invite all persons who are in the area to please come, take lunch. It won't be more than an hour. And I think we will have refreshments, so you can even have a little snack, grab and go. In addition to that, Grand Bahama will be having their church service, and that will be at 7:30 p.m. at St. Paul's Methodist Church in Grand Bahama. So the HASB HIV/AIDS Survivors Benefit, Grand Bahama, they are sponsoring that event.
Awesome.
So
while you were talking about testing, I was just thought about it. For those who might be nervous or apprehensive about testing and knowing their status, do you have any words of encouragement to kind of break that fear?
We have a wonderful team. There's a process to testing. We recognize that people feel uncomfortable and nervous. And so we have a pre-test counseling session before they even take the test. And that pre-test counseling is to address the discomfort, people feeling fear of the results, and so that they understand exactly what will happen. And normally after the pre-test counseling, persons are comfortable, they go and get the test. You'll see many persons coming and giving you a thumbs up. You know what I mean?
Well,
so
that's
yes.
good. That's encouraging, because the fear and the stigma surrounding it, as you said earlier, is a blockade for some people to know their status, or even to support persons who want to know their status. So we're very appreciative for the efforts that you're putting in. Talking about this fun run, cycle, walk, food, drink, all of that. How do we sign up for that?
You can contact us at the Bahamas AIDS Foundation, 325-9326 or 7, or go to our website or Facebook page. The website is bahamasaidsfoundation.org, and the website is the Bahamas AIDS Foundation. And or they can email me, cbarnett@bahamasaidsfoundation.org.
And so excited again to have you on the show this morning. We were talking a little bit about the Red Ribbon Ball.
Yes.
And we're going to look out for that next year.
2023, we're coming out strong.
We love it.
It's going to be fabulous.
I'm going to get my suit together from now. I'm going to be there. So thank you both for being on this morning. Lady Camille Barnett, President of the Bahamas AIDS Foundation, and Lynette Deveaux, psychologist with the National HIV/AIDS Center with the Ministry of Health and Wellness. Thank you both for being on, and thank you for your efforts and all of your team's efforts. And good luck this week.
Thank you.
I think Friday I'm coming out there for one of them.
Oh, yes. Wonderful.
I'm going to be running, but I might have a minute. Thanks for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
You're watching Bahamas at Sunrise. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Ria Christina, and I'm super excited to be the new host of You and Your Money, a local international bank that has actually been closing some of their branches. It actually gives me an opportunity to share my views, my take on the financial matters. Even when we think about what's happening globally, we still have a lot of work to do in terms of having to educate business owners as to the importance, the economic impact, and how it is that we can look at improving the Bahamian economy. $1 billion. That's how much we spend every year importing food in this country. It also gives me an opportunity to have conversations, and that's meaningful conversations with thought leaders within our community, even having to see how it is that we can work together, or even the opportunities that may exist for many Bahamians. So I'm excited to be here and looking forward to the great conversations that's to come.
Welcome back to the show. So, tell us what's going on with World AIDS Day. I heard something about cocktails and walking, not really sure. What's happening?
A great combination. Love speaking to the team for that are organizing the World AIDS Day events. And yeah, Friday there's going to be a fun run, walk, eat conch and cone, talk session. Very important event that's happening. So I think I'm going to be out there. I might just be eating and drinking, but I'll maybe walk a little fast.
Yeah, you got to get the 2-in-1. That's a good deal that they're giving. You get to exercise and you get to drink. It's Friday night. It's perfect.
I agree, right?
Well, so I think we had a fantastic show today. We went to Dr. Pinto and we learned what we needed to learn there. We learned about World AIDS Day. We learned all about the exciting productions happening on December 2nd and 3rd. So yeah, I think I had a great time. Did you have a good time?
I did. It's now time for us to get this week off and running. And we'd like to thank you all for joining us dead early on Monday as usual. We're so grateful to have you as our guest joining us in studio dead early. And you have a wonderful week, and we can see you on Friday.
That's all. Thanks for watching. Have an awesome week.
Awesome week. See y'all.